Last night at about 11:25 p.m., Vincent Rioux in third position was entering the South Atlantic. It's Tuesday evening. We've left Les Sables d'Olonne since 9 days, and we're about to cross the equator. There. And it didn't bug. We're definitely in the southern hemisphere. 3 hours and 22 minutes earlier, Alex Thomson was the first to tumble into the southern hemisphere. In doing so, Hugo Boss's skipper established the best lap time reference between Les Sables d'Olonne and the equator in 9 days and 7 hours, 28 hours less than Jean Le Cam in 2004. Behind Alex Thomson, Armel Lecléache, second, didn't derogate to the tradition. Champagne for everyone. And one for the boat too, of course. Let's have one for Neptune also. Today in the afternoon, Jan Eliès, 8th, crossed the symbolic line after a flying start of day. Well, I got woken by heavy showers, a rather tonic awakening. Large mainsail out, little Jenniker. It went up to 30 knots. Boat was laying flat, sails flapping, and I was in my underwear. So I rolled it all up and am now on reaching. So there's wind. It's quite good. I hope it'll last, that it's not just a shower. 12th at more than 500 miles from the leaders, for Quito de Pavon it isn't quite the same. He's still biding his time. We're in the doldrums, which extended a bit since the first crossed it. Not real good news. So the day was kind of sluggish. Even now there's some wind. But I was literally stuck for most of the day. I even went swimming, so you can imagine. Among today's news, Jérémy Béhu's worries with his automatic piloting systems. Electronic problems, according to Maître Coqu's skipper, who doesn't hide his concerns. Stay tuned.
About 2 or 3 miles. He's 69 miles behind. Last night, Tanguy de la Motte was heading back to the north with his injured Initiative's Cur. He's definitely not abandoning, but it does seem inevitable that when he gets back to Les Sables d'Olonne, that will be the sad outcome. Meantime, 28 boats heading south. A little bit of a stretch for the leaders. A few mechanical problems starting to occur. Jérémy Béhu has been struggling with autopilot problems, and Conrad Coleman reported that he's fixed a hydraulic leak. So the standings at midday, Alex Thomson on top, making 18.6 knots on the midday rankings. Armel Lecléache 60.5 miles behind, very, very slightly better VMG for Armel. Vincent Rioux 69.8 miles, he's lost 7 miles to Armel since yesterday. Sébastien Josse in 4th, 93 miles behind the leader. Paul Meha still a good 5th, 114 miles behind. He's up to 5th. Morgan Lagravière is going actually quite well just now, 146 miles behind the leader, pretty quick. Jérémy Béhu 159 miles behind the leader. Jan Eliès 255, Jean Le Cam 347, and Thomas Royon in 10th place at 391 miles behind leader. Of the internationals, well, Conrad Coleman is in 16th, 682 miles from Alex Thomson. Nandor Fa in 19th, our Hungarian skipper. Kojiro Shirishai from Japan, 767 miles, so just 6 miles behind Nandor. Rich Wilson at 42 miles behind Nandor. In 21st, 803 miles behind the leader. Peter Hirema, the Dutch skipper, is going a little bit better now, enjoying his race. In 23rd, 873 miles. Enda O'Coineen from Ireland at 996 miles behind the leader. And Didac Costa, our Spanish skipper, who recrossed a couple of days after the start, and he's at 1,843 miles. He is actually pulling some miles back on Sébastien Destrabo, although Didac has been pretty slow this morning. I do believe that we may have Nandor Fa, our Hungarian skipper, on board Spirit of Hungary. Nandor, can you hear us? You're live in Paris.
No, I didn't hear anything, just came in, but good morning, afternoon, bonjour, I don't know what day is it. It's completely the time.
It's Wednesday in Paris, Nandor.
Ah, yeah, all right. Here, I'm quite well in the doldrums. We're very close to it. In the morning, I had a huge shower, and at the beginning, with 30 knots of wind, I was flying, and after that stopped for a couple of hours. I was just staying in the same place, and it was raining, a lot of water. Now I'm moving again, but gathering some new clouds in front of me, so I'm not too optimistic.
Good. And how are you feeling, Nandor?
Okay, just happens what expected. In the last 1.5 days, I was sailing well. Under A2 Jenniker, I was really nice progress. I enjoyed it. I could maintain some westerly path and also good speed. So I was really happy with. But early in the morning, I had this huge cloud, huge shower, and it killed my beautiful progress. But I guess quite soon, in 1.5 days, I will be through this area, and maybe I can pick up the southeasterly.
Nandor, how does the route through the doldrums look? Is it, as you say, about a day and a half?
Yes, it's another day and a half, and it is strange because another feature like I used to see, big clouds coming, but not the separated clouds. It is quite cloudy all over, and some parts are more dark than the others. So it's not a typical squall, not a typical shower doldrum system, and a feature like I used to. So it is something different, but we accept.
It's interesting, Nandor, because that's what some of the skippers further down the course had said, the same kind of cloud cover, and it's clearly moved to the north to you. And it's still the same cloud cover.
Sorry, and sometimes I hear you, sometimes not.
I'm just saying it's the same cloud cover that the skippers at the front had a few days ago.
Yeah, maybe it was the same.
Yeah.
But it is, as I look around, all over there are clouds, and over me also. So this is not just separated clouds, this is all over clouds.
Yeah.
So this is interesting.
And how is the boat? Is it clean and tidy?
Right now everything is wet. It was really wet also me. I had to change sail in the shower. I A2 up, and quickly I had to take off and put code 0 instead of. But when I finished it, it could have been much better to have the A3. When I was thinking on it to change it for A3, the code 0 weather and wind came back, so it is very difficult to have the proper sail area. Right now I'm under full main and code 0.
So Nandor, how closely do you look at the classifications, the classements when they come in? You're in a close race. Do you analyse the classements all the time?
I'm
just asking, how closely,
hello.
Nandor, how closely do you look at the rankings when they come in?
Some both close to me. I could see miuiss this zero, as I can see at the moment. Kojiro is 10, 13 miles. This is west. We're close to each other. Only just on the AIS.
And you've had some emails between the different boats, I believe. We spoke with Rich. He was saying that you'd all exchanged emails.
Yeah, email with Conrad and the Great American.
Nice.
I couldn't do because Kojiro is, and I don't have job letters in my computer. That's the problem only.
Anyway, Nandor, as ever, a real privilege, a real pleasure to speak with you on board the Spirit of Hungary. and we'll speak again in a couple of days.
Yes, all right. Thank you. Let me tell you, my Hungarian friends, hello. Jó napot mindenkinek, üdvözlök mindenkit itt most már közel az Egyenlítőhöz. Úgy tűnik, hogy megjöttem a doldrums világába. Remélem, hogy hamarosan túl is leszek rajta. Elég nehéz világot élünk most, minden vizes, hol fúj, hol kevésbé, de úgy minden rendben. Na, üdvözlök mindenkit. Andy, from Spirit of Hungary, that was all now today. See you soon.
Thank you very much, Nandor. All the best. So that's Nandor Fa finishing up with a few words for his Hungarian fans. Translation being, he's just in the doldrums just now. He's just had a 30-knot squall, showers of rain. He was stopped for a period and he's moving again. He had some great sailing yesterday under the A3. So let's have a look at how the fleet stands just now with our animation at the top of the fleet. They are just extending now as the breeze builds and lifts. Armel made a couple of miles back on Hugo Boss this morning. His angles are opening up generally as they go down the track. Vincent Rioux in third, just a couple of tenths of a knot slower. Sebastian Josse has just lost a few more miles in fourth, just really because the leaders are really easing into the stronger breeze as they get south. Thomson is most eased in terms of the wind angle, beam reaching just now, going faster, and the others are rising up to his course. The losers in the doldrums have been in particular Jeremy Bayou, Maitre Cop, who's been handicapped by his autopilot problems. Morgan Lagraviere on Safran was pretty slow but has sped up and is making his position to windward. Tell now just managed to pull the bow down a little bit and go a bit quicker. Jan Elias dropped back 150 miles in 36 hours. We're going to see another example of the 10 front runners getting away for the moment. But the pack is behind them is struggling in the doldrums, and the doldrums are pretty active there. So this is going to be a steady stretch. Irish skipper Endo Koinin is still sailing off the islands of Fogo and Brava. The airstream is shut off, the trade winds up here, and the route to the doldrums is very bumpy for them. And as I said, also Catalan sailor Didac Costa going quite nicely, but a little bit slow, but he is catching Sebastian Destremo. We spoke this morning with our Dutch skipper, Peter Herima, had a little bit of a back problem over the first few days. He told us it is getting better, and he's had some great sailing over recent days. Peter Herima. No, sorry, we've just lost Peter. Let's have a look at the weather situation at the moment. As I said, looking at the South Atlantic first of all. Well, there's a very fast passage expected down to the Cape of Good Hope. We have the South Atlantic high pressure is very far to the south and to the east. That opens up a corridor of breeze. A low pressure just developing on the west of Brazil, particularly round about the Bay of Salvador. Now that is creating, as I say, this corridor of breeze, which should stay open for the first 6 or 7 boats, and in particular for the first boats, they may just be able to catch up with the low pressure. Round about the 21st should be the point which they can catch them up, or catch up with that low pressure. The winds are quite well established around the high pressure in general, the low pressure's evolution. This depression is evolving, and that should open up, say, this lane of breeze. So we're looking at a fairly direct route down to the Cape of Good Hope. We can think possibly about a record. The record is around about 22 days, I think, and we may be a couple of days ahead of that. We also spoke with Rich Wilson. Rich Wilson is staying on top of his education program and his race. He's a really solid speeds just now. His ambition, his real target is just to get a little bit quicker every day, and we spoke with Rich this morning.
We're just entering the doldrums with black clouds around, so I just put in a reef and rolled up the Genoa, rolled out the Solent just in the nick of time to talk to you. And it certainly can be nasty and windy and squalls and from different directions. I'm just looking at the grid file, and it looks as though it should be fairly straightforward going through this time, but you wonder whether it's just King Neptune trying to lure you in, because we certainly had some bad activities in the past. When I studied with Jean-Yves Bernot, he just said, go straight across. as fast as you can.
That's the Alex
Get out of there
Thomson
as quickly
method.
as you can. Yes, exactly. Yeah, he certainly got through and escaped, and the batch of boats behind got stuck, but they were back in the hunt. It's interesting because I don't think I've ever gone so fast. The boats around me are all catching up or pulling away, and I'm not quite sure what I can do to go faster. We've had a couple of nice email exchanges here with Mandor and with Alan Rura and Eric Bellion and with Koji also, and so that's been nice. I think that's a nice feature of the race. We're all going as fast as we can.
How's your education program? What's the topics for today?
Well, actually, this week is about the equator crossing, and so I wrote about that. But we also have an expert named David Sobel, who's the author, wrote the book called Longitude about John Harrison, who invented the chronometer, and she is writing about crossing the equator for this week. Seems to have been pretty much full on. Certainly those first 24 or 36 hours with the squalls. We've had a number of small items to work on for repairs, batten car replacement, a hydro generator pump that spent a couple of days. So those extra features, in addition to the school program work, have taken up the time that one might have to just sort of sit back and think about it all. But I certainly do that when I'm on deck, and I think that's one of the just really unique features about being at sea. You have a 360-degree view of the horizon, and you have this hemispheric dome over you that you just don't get anywhere. And at night, the expanse of the universe, when you see the stars, it's a great experience. It puts you in your very small place in the universe.
Well, in a very interesting place in the universe at the moment, Rich Wilson, live from the Great American today, just really thriving, I think, in this race. Nice competition with 5 or 6 boats round about him. He's about 70 miles ahead of Peter Hirema, our Dutch skipper, who's progressing quite well now. He's in the chain going south, and he's had some great racing, and we spoke with Peter earlier on.
It's been a fantastic few days, and the nights have been fantastic. Last night was absolutely magical. The full moon out, a little bit hazy sky, so a very white sky, flat sea, no waves at all, and a very nice wind, and especially the first part of the night, the boat just went like a bat out of hell, and so smooth. It was incredible. It was just absolutely fantastic, and with all the light, very few nights like that seen before. The boat is doing well. The boat likes to stretch her legs. It's just very good to be on it. Yeah.
And how is your back? Is that getting better?
Slowly, it is much better than a few days ago, but it's still there. And yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I had to pull something really directly, and then I felt it immediately coming back again. So it's not gone, but it's a lot better. Well, I'm sleeping quite well actually at night. In daytime, it's too hot to sleep. At night, it's quite okay, and the winds are quite stable, and then it's really nice to sleep. In the daytime, it doesn't really work that well. Yeah, there's some little rain squall coming over, and it's a bit early, but it has a little bit the characteristics of what we get further south in the doldrums. A very big wind shift suddenly.
Have you been through the doldrums before, or is it new?
I've been through them before, not racing, but I've been through them before. Yeah. Well, I don't particularly like it. It's not really nice, and I don't think anybody can say that he likes the doldrums. It can take a long time. You can know whatever you know about it, and then it's still a casino. Actually, I think most people would, when they're honest, say it's a casino, and I don't like that part of the race.
That's Peter Hirema on No Way Back, talking about the casino that is the doldrums. Just going into the doldrums, his first Vendee Globe. Interesting is VMG is exactly the same as Rich Wilson over the last 24 hours, and so that we can expect a nice close race with them. We did have some of the French skippers on the live. We also spoke with Didac Costa. Vincent Rioux said that things are not really favouring his the non-foiling boats at the moment. With the wind on the beam, the foilers do have the advantage, and so he's having to work particularly hard just to make sure they don't get away. Talking about the South Atlantic, he says it looks fast. There are 2 possible routes according to the models, and they both look quick. was in the first part of the race that we could see the pecking order, and he's really trying to stay up with that. He also tries to stay up with what's happening in the world outside of the Vendee Globe, because he is interested in that. Also, Didac Costa, we spoke with him very briefly. In particular, he said it's quite squally and with unstable winds round about the Canaries where he is at the moment. He does expect it to stabilise. He's getting used to life on board. Obviously, his last race was 200 round the world with the Barcelona race, but he's tried to just kind of stay out of contact with the outside world for 7 to 10 days, he said. But after that, so he's just disconnecting a bit, and then he'll get back in touch as he progresses. Also, a quick one from Kajiro Shirashai, saying he's been going well under the A3 yesterday, feeling good and wanting to go much faster. So that's what we have for you from today, from the Vendee Globe Live, our little quintessential slice of Englishness, a little bit of cream tea, freshly baked scones, jam and cream prevailing in this world of French patisserie. And just as Britain leads the Vendee Globe, Ali, join us again tomorrow for the Vendee Globe Live.